magandang hapon mga ka-Voluntoon, no? You're tuned in once again to Voluntoon, ang podcast. Kasi podcast ang setup natin ngayon, no? Na kung saan, bawat kwento ay inspirasyon at bawat serbisyo ay pagmamahal. I'm Chinks.
And I'm Jaja, and welcome to our episode 5. And we are so glad that you are with us because we are going to tackle a lot of inspirational stories, especially about taking ourselves. It's about caring for others while we are not forgetting ourselves.
Okay, so our theme today is health and wellness through volunteerism. This is a reminder that while we give, we must also protect our peace, our health, and our hearts.
Yeah, so here are what to expect with our podcast for this season. So mga ka-volunteer, please stay tuned because we are going to tackle about a powerful advocacy story on how one person's advocacy transformed the lives of our community, especially on how they could start out, how do they begin with the journey in volunteerism without losing yourself in the process. And the last one, it's about getting real with our silent struggles and how are we going to address these challenges.
Yes, and if you've ever asked, no, okay pa ba ako? Is it still worth it? Aba? And can I help without burning out? Then, this episode is for you.
Yes, that's true, Mom Shanks. And to help us navigate all these questions, we are joined by someone who is an expert on that field and who has a heart for this match with deep understanding of what we are going to talk about today. So, Ma'am Shanks?
Ayan, so he is a registered psychometrician. Siyempre, alumni natin dito, di ba?
Yes.
Okay. Trauma debriefing facilitator and the co-chair of the Psychological Association of the Philippines Social Psychology Division. He advocates with hashtag mental health PH, Better Today PH, and the Youth for Mental Health Coalition. Let's welcome or let's give a warm Voluntoon welcome to Mr. Sir Jeremiah Paul Silvestre, Sir JP.
Hello, welcome to our episode, Sir JP. Yes, we are so honored to have you.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Cha, of course, Ma'am Chings for the invitation. Once again, magandang hapon sa mga ka-volunteers natin. Salamat sa pagsama sa amin sa napakabulahang pagkikipagkwentuhan ngayong araw.
Yes, baka meron ka pong gustong batiin na makakilala, kaibigan, katropa, or sino man po gusto mong batiin, Sir JP?
Yes, syempre, hello sa mga colleagues natin sa Y4MH, sa hashtag Mental Health PH, sa mga partners natin sa Better Today PH, and of course sa lahat ng nanonood, maaabot ng podcast na ito. So, gaya ng sabi ni Ma'am Ja kanina, yung topic natin this afternoon, everyone can relate to it. Lahat tayo mayroong mental health, so to say. Kaya really exciting and very relevant ng magiging daloy ng ating pagkwentuhan.
Yung mga Gen Zs ngayon, feeling ko they would actually relate to this. Actually, nag-start yung mga mental health advocacy nitong recently. Sila talaga yung mental health ko. Paano naman
mental health? Minomonitor talaga nila yung kanilang mental health status. Di ba? Minsan, pinupost pa yan nila sa social media.
Yes.
Although, okay lang po ba sabihin na it's clinically diagnosed? Tama po ba yung term, Sir JP?
Oo. Although we would like to acknowledge, of course, yung important role ng Gen Z specifically or nung mga kabataan talaga ngayon in kumbaga amplifying, pagpapalakas ng boses about how real, kung gaano katotoo yung karanasan ng isang tao when it comes to, for instance, mental health struggles. Tama din yung pinipinpoint ni Miss Jan na we should also take precautions on actually, of course, labeling serious mental health concerns, especially those na kailangan ng clinical diagnosis.
Kasi based on experience, I think kasi educators naman tayo dito. So, marami dyan, ma'am, actually may anxiety po ako. I'm kind of depressed right now. So probably these are the things probably na matatakel din natin somehow later on na I think most of our listeners and viewers are interested in. Yan. So, yeah. Okay, hindi pa tayo nagsisimula sa Q&A. Meron na tayo talagang very profound, mga topics, ayan, or may mga scenarios na tayo in mind. So, let's begin with your journey, Sir Japes, no? Can you share how you started in this advocacy work? Was there kind of specific moment or parang experience that pushed you to champion mental health and volunteerism?
So, yung journey ko personally to advocate for mental health started way back 2010 pa. So, approximately.
Tagal na rin po.
Oo, yeah.
So, I'm an undergrad in psychology here at Tarlac State University, and meron kaming course on abnormal psychology where we tackle mental disorders. So, doon namin unang pag-uusapan yung clinical lens on depression, on schizophrenia, and all. And way back in 2010, mas makikita natin na outside the discussion ng mental disorders sa classroom, mataas yung stigma pagdating sa mental health. Pag sinabi nating stigma, ito yung negative beliefs ng mga tao about mental health in general or mental disorders. So, common na naririnig mo kapag ang isang tao may mental disorder, maluwag ang tornilyo, diba?
May sayad.
May sayad. So, all of these terms, although sa kulturang Pilipino kasi sometimes ginagamit natin siya sa context din ng humor or ng lambing sa barkada. Pero clearly, meron siyang negative na connotation about people who are really suffering from mental disorders.
Yes.
Tapos, unfortunately, in 2010, hindi pa ganun ka-highlighted yung discussions or conversations about mental
Parang tabu
health.
pa ba siya during that time?
Meron
It's
pang
something.
mataas na tabu about it talaga. Tapos, in 2014, I was privileged to go to grad school. And doon nagsimulang magkaroon ng discourse sa policy level sa Congress during that time to pass a mental health act. Kasi wala tayong batas covering mental health in general. So, kapag ang isang tao may mental disorders, hindi sure kung anong system sa government, dadalhin ba ito sa ospital, sa simbahan. So, yung role ng policy sana will cover how to properly address mental disorders or mental health concerns. Tapos, in 2016, nag-start na i-draft yung Mental Health Act pa during that time. So, madaming clamor, especially from the youth sector. So, sa grad school that time, pinag-uusapan namin sa klase, ano yung pwedeng input ng mga estudyante, ng mga kabataan, pagdating doon sa dinadraft na Mental Health Act. Tapos, fortunately, in 2018, through the efforts of Senator Risa Ontiveros, the Philippine Mental Health Law, RA 11036, was finally pushed as a law generally. So, ibig sabihin, nag-exist na sa policies natin na mayroong percentage specifically sa health budget natin ang mapupunta in addressing mental health concerns. So, alam naman natin sa reality ng society natin, sa system natin, kapag may batas, mas na-i-impose or nako-compel tayo to follow that. Siyempre may issue tayo on implementation and all. Pero at least, isang milestone na meron na tayong Philippine Mental Health Law. And mula nung nagkaroon ng Philippine Mental Health Law, mas naging open yung conversations about, of course, mental health, mental disorders, access to mental health services, mental health care, community-based mental health. Tapos, dahil ang mental health kasi in general, it's an abstract concept.
Yeah.
Hindi mo siya agad-agad na may intindihan. Kasi one of the indicators that people understand the concept, kung kaya natin siyang i-translate sa everyday language natin. Di ba, Ma'am Cheng? Pag sinabi mental health, ano ba yung mental health sa, halimbawa, lingwahe ng mga outside the academe. Pag tinanong mo ang isang tricycle driver, ano ang intindi niya sa mental health. So, it's such an abstract concept. Kaya, sa discourse ng mga tao na may background in mental health, talagang challenge to put it down sa language na may intindihan ng common people. Kasi lahat tayo essentially may mental health concerns, nakakaranas tayo ng mental health struggles. Kaya yung isa sa mga strategies na nakikitang dapat na essentially gawin ng advocates during that time, even practitioners, is to raise mental health awareness. So, pag sinabi nating mental health awareness, it's as easy as how you can let other people understand of their own mental health. So, yun, doon nagsimula talaga yung karamihan sa efforts. Kasi you cannot like push through other efforts kung hindi naiintindihan ng mga tao kung ano yung mental health in general. Ayun, so 2018 talaga yung efforts to do mental health awareness. Kaya yung tinatawag natin na psychoeducation. Ito yung mga efforts na nag-open ng mga ganitong kwentuhan about mental health experience from the general struggle ng isang tao na mayroong mental health concern up to people na talagang diagnosed with mental health disorders or mental disorders and then naka-recover. So, ito yung mga avenues natin to do that generally. So, ayun, dun nagsimula 2018. Tapos, as you recall in 2020, we were hit by a global pandemic.
Yes.
So, yung isa sa mga pinaka na-highlight doon, though we don't want to romanticize naman what happened during the pandemic, ay talagang mas naging realistic tayo or mas nakita natin kung gaano kaseryoso ang mental disorders or yung struggles natin when it comes to our mental health. So for instance, nakakita tayo ng mga balita wherein people who struggle talaga, nagkaroon ng trigger warning lang ito sa mga nakikinig sa atin. Syempre, some sensitive topics. Yung mga issues on people committing suicide or self-harm because they were disconnected, they were away from their family, we have limited mobility. So, nag-rise yung mga issues natin na meron siyang depression, merong anxiety, and yung discourse natin on those topics, hindi lang siya yung normal na sadness na nararamdaman natin. It's not just the normal anxiety that we experience. So, lives are at stake during that time. Kaya mas na-highlight during the pandemic na, totoo pala talaga itong mental health concerns ng mental disorders.
Itong mga panahon na din na to, yung nag-start, no, na merong mental health break sa mga universities, di ba? So, na parang nare-recognize na rin na, it's also something important na nare-recognize na ng mga institutions.
There was also a time that I don't know if all universities, but there were times na bawal magpa-project during their weekend time. Di ba, even the elementary school
mental
learners,
break.
di ba, ganyan sila during that time.
Oo, kasi yung discourse dyan was about we're not in the usual setup natin sa school na
biglang drastic change kasi siya, hindi siya yung staggered na paunti-unti.
Like we were caught off guard talaga during the pandemic. Like just imagine before, after you take a stressful exam. Diba? After no, lalabas ka with your friends. You go somewhere, kakain, iinom just to breathe or magde-debrief kayo nung exam na stressful na yun. Pero during the pandemic, wala kang ganung support system.
Yes.
After the exam, you're gonna leave your gadget, tapos you're left by yourself thinking, ano bang nangyari sa akin? And also, this was really an unusual scenario. Kaya talaga
disconnected ka sa sa world, outside world.
Yep, which is later, baka mapag-usapan din natin na talagang yung state ng mental health natin, yung role ng community, role ng support system natin is really essential.
Yeah.
Ayun, so 2020, mas na-highlight siya, mas, kumbaga, kung kailangan natin ng proof na nag-e-exist ang mental health concerns, ang mental disorders, it took a pandemic to have that avenue na totoong nag-e-exist ang ganitong mga bagay. And people really paid attention during that time. And that was the time talaga na sobrang daming clamor on discussions on mental health sa school setting, even sa workplace setting. So talagang na-maximize yung idea of implementing talaga yung Philippine mental health law natin. Tapos unfortunately, nagbalik tayo sa normal setup natin, I hope, 2022, 2023.
Yeah, around that time.
Around that time, di ba, nagbalik tayo. So, medyo bumalik sa default na nahihirapan ulit tayo to actually rally for mental health. Pero yung maganda doon, kumbaga may pathways na tayo na nagawa din. So we're just picking up on what we left from the pandemic din to really rally for mental health. Kaya yung mga efforts ngayon talaga goes to in-place policies na sa mga schools, dapat meron silang mental health programs for students. Workplaces actually have shift, especially sa mga private organizations. They already have this employee assistance program wherein they cover mental health services, like they have psychologists or counselors on board to do sessions with their employees. Tapos meron na ring access on medication. So kung may prescriptions from a medical doctor na kailangan for a certain mental condition, meron ng access for that. So ayun, we pull in these efforts generally up until now. And yun nga, malaki yung role actually nga ng hindi lang ng mga experts or people with a background in mental health, pero actually the community talaga in
Sila na mismo yung nagre-reach out. Diba? Dati kasi tinatago nila sa sarili.
Yes.
And Sir JP, I'm curious to know if with all of these challenges or per se, or interventions that the program, I'm curious to know if do we have enough number of mental health expert with the number of individuals experiencing or has concerns with mental health?
That's a good question, no, Miss Ja. Kasi nga, dahil nga nagkaroon ng clamor on really talking about mental health, tapos yun nga, people are really coming forward na to ask for help kapag may mental health struggles. Mas na-highlight yung scarcity pagdating sa mga professionals working on mental health. So, mental health isn't just the work of people with a psychology background. That's psychologists or psychometricians per se. Walang monopoly ng mga psychology professionals pagdating sa mental health work. Actually, madami tayong allied na mga mental health professionals. So, counselors are actually there, nurses are actually there. Of course, in the medical field, psychiatrists are there. Tapos, syempre, yung mga community organizers natin, mga volunteers natin. Kasi nga, hindi mo naman kailangan ng really a formal training to understand mental health. Of course, may level na kailangan yun, lalo na sa clinical diagnosis. Pero in advocating for mental health and all, it just takes an open heart and an open mind to actually learn about the fundamentals of mental health and then do that. So, I think dun sa last na statistics, halimbawa sa school setting, kailangan natin ng isang guidance counselor, for instance, they are the mental health professional working in schools, to 1,000 na mga students. And hindi natin namimit yun oftentimes. Yan.
May mga schools actually na wala talaga silang guidance counselors. So, saan sila tatakbo? If ever na meron silang mga concerns, no?
Tama yan. Tapos, even psychiatrists, sobrang kulang natin. I'm not sure just about the specific numbers, pero yung ratio natin of psychiatrists to Filipinos, sobrang konti lang din. Even clinical psychologists. So,
and dahil mataas ang demand, kulang ang supply. Alam niyo na. So, yung iba, ay, ang mahal naman pala. So, wag na lang. So, ganun. So, it's good then that there are also advocates and volunteers who can offer it for free, diba?
Tama yun, Ma'am Chins, kasi yung pinaka-model na gustong i-adapt ngayon sa atin is what we call a community-based mental health. It actually takes into account na dahil nga scarce yung mga professionals natin like psychiatrists or clinical psychologists. Kumbaga, we reserve them to people with serious mental health conditions or concerns. Tapos yung mga kaya pa naman kahit papaano to go through with their lives, to cope with the normal stresses. Ito na yung pwedeng gawin ng mga advocates and all. I, for one, I'm not a clinical psychologist yet. So, yung work na ginagawa ko is more on the normal population. So, for instance, meron tayong group of students na nakaranas ng isang traumatic na event. Halimbawa, sabihin natin na merong aggression, biglang merong nag-hold up somewhere sa school nila and all. So, they were exposed with this traumatic event. So, kaya sa level namin with a developed competencies to handle them. And from there, i-identify namin kung sino sa kanila, yung sa tingin namin may red flag pa na talagang kailangan pa ng further help. Doon papasok yung skill namin to refer them to psychiatrist or to a clinical psychologist. So, kumbaga yung mga mas general population, they can go forward to advocates with, of course, these competencies para ma-address yung concern nila. And we reserve people na talagang nag-work with serious mental health concerns to people with serious mental health concerns.
That's nice to hear, no, Ma'am James.
Yeah. At least, meron na tayong matatakbuhan somehow. Para, ay, mahal. O sige, okay. Papayaan na lang natin what we're going through. Baka lilipas lang to. Lilipas din. Mga ganon yung iniisip nila. Na hindi nila naisip na, it's something serious na pala.
Paano po ba sila makapag-reach out sa inyo, Sir JP? Or ano may mga projects na na-involve na tayo na pwede natin i-share sa ating mga listeners?
Sa Psychological Association of the Philippines, ang isa sa mga thrust ngayon ng organization, so this is the professional organization of psychologists and psychometricians, ay equip yung mga local government units natin to be trained to become psychological first aid responders. So, this is more on the efforts sa Cebu kasi we have a good pool of experts there. So they partner with the government, the local government, the provincial government of Cebu. Mapatawag usually, yung last na efforts na narinig ko ay mga SK members. So from there, they identify volunteers. Tapos ititrain sila para sa mga nilang barangay or municipalities.
That they don't have to seek for medical or mental health expert.
Yun. So, sila yung parang first line of defense, and these people know how to identify serious mental health concerns kung saan i-connect sila.
It's like the basics sa kanila.
Mas ganun yung pinaka-idea. So, that's one. Yung nakikitang effort ngayon talaga, which we're trying to explore pa, is the important role of the church. So, sa mga communities talaga, mga barangay, sobrang importante ng role ng church. And if you think about it, halimbawa sa Catholic faith, di ba, meron tayong sort of confession. Confession. Malapit tayo sa pare, di ba, kapag meron tayong bigat na nararamdaman regarding a sin, so to say. So, it's actually the same narrative concept. Kapag meron kang bigatin because you have a mental health struggle. So, parang kung itatama natin yung approach, of course, on handling mental health concern with people in the church, they can actually be a good local resource para dun sa barangay na yun or sa community na yun. So, yun yung isang tinitingnan natin ngayon din. Tapos, in the past, or even sa ngayon, mas social media yung nina-navigate natin or minamaximize natin to do advocacy work. So, advocacy campaigns can be done through social media platforms, Facebook pages. Oftentimes, mga infographics ito raising about mental health concerns. Tapos sa hashtag mental health PH, they actually pull in directories, contact numbers, name of the organization, locations or addresses of clinics or hospitals which has mental health services in general. So, pwede mong puntahan yun, pwede mong i-click yun and all. Tapos, individual efforts of clinics or private clinics, they also do that and all. So, sa Y4MH specifically, ang Y4MH kasi, or ang Youth for Mental Health Coalition, sila yung non-government organization of youth advocates for mental health that has a seat sa Congress, sa Philippine Mental Health Council. So, mas sa policy sila nakafocus naman and all. So, advocacy-wise, mas education talaga yung pinagpo-focusan nila, and they make sure na yung budget talaga na nakalaan sa mental health in general nagagamit naman. Ayun. So, halimbawa sa school, if students would like to raise their mental health concern, first line of defense nila, mga guidance counselors nila. Sa workplace, of course, that will be your human resource professionals or your human resource office. Sa mga barangay, I think pinakamalapit na will be their barangay health unit, yung mga BHU workers.
Yes.
Ayun, yun yung mga in place natin na effort so far na pwedeng lapitan kung kailangan ng serious mental health.
Okay. Pero nice yung idea na the SKs are trained to do such, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay. So, at least moving forward, nakapag-innovate na tayo what SKs can do, di ba, for their community. Okay. At least sa ground level, we could do that. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so yeah, moving on. Siyempre, meron tayong mga pang $1 million questions na. Okay. So yeah, you've been exposed siyempre to many different realities in your work, advocacy work. Okay. So what are the unseen or unspoken challenges that, the volunteers often face? Kasi napag-usapan na natin kanina na meron mga volunteers talaga and mga advocates since that was 2018, 2020 until now. So far, in your experience or pwedeng vicarious experience of other advocates or volunteers, ano yung mga challenges or unseen challenges or unspoken challenges that you often face?
Yeah. Yung mental health discourse kasi natin, of course, sa volunteer work, very important siya. If we're gonna go back kasi on how we understand mental health, yung isang definition dito is state siya of well-being. Pag sinabi nating well-being, combination to of feeling good and functioning well.
Okay.
So, pag sinabi nating state naman, nagbabago-bago siya based sa kung ano yung nasa paligid mo, kung ano yung nararanasan mo. Tapos yung isang indicator that you have a good mental health state is you can cope sa daily stresses of your life, which is essentially part ng volunteer work, kasi volunteer work is stressful, positive man yan or negative.
Yes.
And based from what I also saw na we were tapped to work on sa volunteer work, yung isa sa mga I think pwede nating pag-usapan is on how volunteers really balance yung priorities nila with volunteerism. Especially to young volunteers or to those volunteers na talaga
Baguhan pa lang.
sa
Starting
simula
volunteer.
pa lang. Yeah, they think na they have to like offer themselves wholly
Oo.
this concept
Buong time.
diba?
Oo.
Martyrdom yung level, ganyan,
Oo.
diba? So, ang gusto ko sila sa volunteer work is sustainable siya. And when we talk of sustainability, we talk of yung long-term factor nito, diba? And
Yeah.
if you're gonna be a martyr, we all know what martyrs are. Anong nangyayari sa mga martyr, diba? Mamamatay sila. And we don't want volunteers like that, na you're here the first 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, tapos mamamatay yung passion mo to actually
Na-burn out na siya.
Tama yan, Ma'am Chicks. Kaya parang yung idea talaga of balancing volunteer work with your other priorities, yun yung isa sa mga mental health concern na lagi naming naririnig. So, for instance, kung nasa school pa siya, nasa university pa siya, yung important na question is of course priorities. Kahit volunteer ka, yung isang central na role mo pa rin is of course to be a successful undergrad student.
Yes.
So, balancing your volunteer work dapat sa ACADS work mo pa rin. Yan. So,
Parang how much time ba? Kasi laging may misconception dyan sa doing volunteer work na yan
What
diba?
extent?
Like you mentioned a while ago. Pwede bang mga 2 hours of their free time on their weekend, mga ganon? Will it make a difference ba? Is that considered volunteer work? Ganon?
yeah. Mahirap i-quantify talaga yung idea of how we do volunteer work when it
Yes.
comes to numbers or to hours and all. So, siguro mas magandang tawag dito, perspective natin na gawin ay yung contribution ko in what role do I play generally. Kaya nga sa volunteer work, we have to go beyond looking at it as a personal endeavor. Yes, it's an individual endeavor, pero you always should look with your community.
Yes.
Dito papasok yung idea na magpa-organize ka. Kasi nga, you can't do it by yourself.
Exactly.
Diba?
Oo.
Volunteer work is really a collective effort, collective action talaga yan. And yun nga, that will actually help you balance things out. Na, kumbaga, kung may role ka halimbawa in simply doing the communications of your project, so to say, post sa social media, contacting people
Ayan.
and all. So when you look beyond yourself na, oh, may community pala kami, may organization kami. So when the time comes na ikaw, hindi mo siya maharap because of other priorities, you tap the resources of
Yes.
your support system, of your co-volunteers in general. Mas ganun dapat siyang tingnan ng mga volunteers na hindi lang siya individual or personal efforts.
Oo.
It's a collective
Collective,
effort.
yeah.
Hence, yung kumbaga dapat gawin can be distributed or delegated. Kaya yung idea natin na nababalance kahit papano, lalo na kung talagang ang dami mong mas other priorities na kailangang unahin and you don't wanna give up your volunteer work, makakatulong yon for you to tap people dun sa network natin. Kaya yung pagiging part talaga ng isang collective group is very, very important.
Yes.
Sir JP, dumating na po ba sa time mo na kahit amin naman na hindi, yung term na napagod sa volunteerism, and how do you manage to address or how or what are the ways that you did for you to keep the fire burning,
Yeah.
diba, in doing volunteerism?
Yeah. Parang normal naman kasi yung mapagod ka.
Pagod ka.
Oo, pero yung siguro yung burnout talaga. So, how do you often navigate and address yung volunteer burnout?
Yep. Kung i-connect natin ulit siya sa discourse ng mental health, yung mental health kasi natin, think of it as resources. Ito yung kumbaga meron ka to function well.
Oo.
So, pag sinabi kasi nating resources, pwedeng maubos ito, pero pwede rin siyang ma-replenish or madagdagan. So, when you talk of mental health in doing volunteer work, think of it that way. Resources ko to, may time na sobrang dami ng resources ko which I can give, di ba? I can share. Tapos, pwede rin namang may time na mas konti siya. Kaya, hindi ako ganun ka-optimal in doing volunteer work and all. Kaya, doon papasok yung very important concept of taking care of yourself or self-care in doing volunteer work. So, ako din nung mas medyo bata pa ako in doing volunteer work, para kasing, di ba, you feel like dapat in every
Oo.
Eksena, nandun
Eksena,
ka.
nandun ka.
Every-
You
Diba?
offer your whole life,
Diba?
buong pagkatao mo.
Mas
ganon.
ganon.
Free
All
naman
your
on Saturdays,
talent,
do
yeah.
volunteerism on
Oo, wala
Saturday.
akong gagawin ng ganitong araw, so I
Yeah.
must do volunteer work. That's not bad naman entirely. Lalo na kung
If you have the time.
Yeah, Tapos naka-weave
And the
kasi siya dun
energy.
sa sense of purpose natin We get something, hindi man siguro material things and all.
Yung
pero
fulfillment.
Fulfillment.
When you help someone.
Oo. Pero when you talk of that resource kasi na nauubos, so dapat ka rin merong opportunity
To
or
replenish.
time to replenish.
And paano
Because you
nga po
cannot
ba-
give what you do not have.
Exactly.
Yes. Paano nga po ba tayo nakakapag-replenish ng emotions natin,
Oo.
ng
Yep.
kung hindi man yung financial, yung pockets natin, syempre, di ba?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
Partners in terms of that.
But,
Paano po ba?
yeah, but personally, ikaw, paano ka nagre-replenish?
Oh, baka
Tapos
may tips
siguro
ka dyan.
mag-move on tayo to what we could share to others, paano nila ma-replenish yung passion, yung drive nila.
Yep. Dalawang discussion points ito. Yung una is mas personal, talaga
Yeah.
mas individual. So you really should have an intentional effort that is integrated sa daily life mo to take care of yourself. As for me kasi, I make sure that I have enough number of hours of sleep talaga. So yun talaga yung
Sana
sense
all.
of
Tulog talaga.
tulog talaga yan. 7 hours at
Kulang
least.
ako doon, tulog.
Bawi talaga ng tulog kapag may chance. So that's one of the good things about it. Tapos, think of your mental health as your physical health din. Kung meron tayong ginagawa para hindi tayo magkasakit physically, para maging malusog tayo physically, it's the same with mental health, di ba? We take a bath every day para di tayo magkasakit. Kumakain tayo ng masustansya. Yan, natutulog tayo na maayos. It's the same with taking care of your mental health. So, yun yung tinatawag natin ngayon na self-care. So, ako personally, I make sure that I have at least 20 minutes to 30 minutes na physical activity na nakakatulong sa self-care ko. May it be walking or running.
Yes.
So, very important.
Ang self-care is anything na...
Nakakapag-fulfill ba ng nararamdaman?
Kasi yung iba, okay, shopping ako, self-care ito.
May-
I'll get a facial and I'm gonna get a massage. This is, self-care.
Maganda yung point doon ni Ma'am Chicks na kasi may tinatawag tayo na self-soothing activities. No? Ayan, pag self-soothing activities, mas mga short-term to na kapag nagawa ko na siya, it provides you with a temporary sense of comfort.
Medyo nagkakaroon ka ng recharge.
And immediate
na din.
siya.
Oo. Pero yun kasi natin self-care. And pag sinabi kasi natin self-care, it should be regular and intentional talaga about you. So kung yung shopping, gagawin mo siyang self-care activities, ang unang tanong, kaya mo ba siyang i-sustain?
The finance.
Oo, finance side naman yun. Kasi kung hindi siya self-care kasi it's gonna cost you
It's more stress.
more stress kasi
But
sometimes
temporary
diba?
lang siya after that. Oh my gosh, ito na yung credit card bills ko.
Diba? Wala ka nang pambayad or pag dyan na yung parcel mo, di ba? Wala
I
ka
know,
nang
right?
pambayad. So, self-care isn't necessarily expensive naman. So, meron naman tayong mga self-care activities talaga na nagre-require ng financial resources. Like, kung gusto mo talaga na magpa-massage, for instance, every 2 months, ganyan. So, pwede naman siyang maging part ng self-care routine mo. Pero again, we would like to emphasize na yung idea ng self-care for our mental health should be one, intentional. Tapos, ikalawa, dapat regular mo siyang magagawa.
Yeah.
Can we relate these needs or self-care needs with Abraham Maslow the pyramid?
Yeah, pwede natin siyang ma-relate doon, Miss Ja. Yeah, especially
Dun sa hierarchy of
Yeah,
needs.
the hierarchy of needs.
Oo, so on top of, syempre yung pagkain, pagtulog, basic needs naman natin yan. So self-care can also be, yung sa love and belongingness ni Maslow, connecting to your support system.
Yes,
Diba?
friends.
Yung friends.
Yes.
Chika-chika with your friends, rant session, however you wanna call it. Diba?
Okay, marami ako niyan.
So that can provide you with an avenue for self-care then. Knowing din syempre na may boundaries din and we're aware din of how we kumbaga impact din yung group of friends natin.
Ayun. Kapag nagra-rant, I would like to ask that, no, na should we ask other people if they are open, they have the energy to receive yung rants na yon?
Oo nga. Yan yung isang skill na kailangan din natin, hindi lang sa social circles natin of course, pero pag nasa volunteer circles din tayo. Well, kailangan natin munang i-check yung level ng relationships, of course, of the people that we have or we say na we can run. Kasi meron naman na talagang mga unwritten rules or culture tayo sa grupo natin na kumbaga, di ba, hindi na natin kailangan explicitly sabihin and we can dive to na, ay, sa work, ganito ako ngayon. Or sa
And
They know that already.
meron kasing mga iba na, oh my God, nandiyan na naman siya, ang toxic na naman. Every time that she's ranting, oh my God, it's so sad. I don't want any negative energy. May mga ganun kasi.
Oo, yun. Nangyayari talaga yun. Lalo na nga kung yung baka circle mo kasi is hindi pa talaga establish yung level of relationship wherein you can like
Kaya hindi nila kayang i-receive yung ganong level ng
Yeah.
ng problem or stress na pwede mong i-share sa kanila.
Tama yun, Miss Jia. So siguro kung ganong level ng relationship meron kayo, necessary for you to ask na, friends, pwede ba akong mag-rant? You don't need to give advice. I just wanna like blow this off from my system, di ba? Mas ganun, we set yung boundaries natin. And it goes two-way din. Kasi ikaw din, if you're on the receiving end naman, you can also say na, kunyari, nalapit ako na, friend, may sasabihin ako sa'yo, ganyan. You can actually say na, friend, medyo stress ako din ngayon.
Yeah, I'm going through something as well.
Yeah, no. So you can say no, pero you can always offer na. Pero if you just wanna like,
Talk about it
and all. Pwede naman. Pero kung level na gusto mong magbigay ako ng options sa'yo on what you can do to navigate this, baka mahirapan ako because I'm going through something else. Ganun. So yung communication din.
Open
communication with your friends. Really, really important.
Ikaw, Ma'am Chings, paano mo ba, ino-overcome yung struggles or challenges mo when it comes to mental health concerns na pinagdadaanan natin?
Oh my gosh, ako, ang ginagawa ko lang, of course, I don't know if this is self-care, no? Syempre, unang-una, I'm going to talk to my friends. Okay, so I will share what I'm going through. Ayan. And then, ano pa ba? Syempre, yung masarap na ligo, shower.
Yes.
That's one.
Cold
Very
bath.
refreshing. At saka pag naliligo ako, that's the time, parang ito lang yung time ko for myself to think about stuff. Ang dami ko naiisip kapag naliligo ako. Minsan pa nga, nangyayari, oh my gosh, bakit ko nagawa yun? I shouldn't have done that. Pero, marami akong mga reflections kapag naliligo kasi. Ayun. So, me and the shower lang. Okay. So, ayun. Yeah. Tapos, syempre, I watch television din. Netflix and chill. I don't know ano ba meaning ng Netflix and chill? Ngayon, meron ng iba-ibang definition ng Netflix and chill. But for me, I interpret it literally. Yeah. When I watch Netflix, I chill. Mga ganon. Tapos, ewan ko lang, ngayon yung mga Gen Z, may iba ng, ano bang definition ng Netflix and chill ngayon?
It's rated SPG daw.
Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, guys. So, what I meant is I watch Netflix.
And relax.
And relax. Okay. Baka ma-flag ako. Rated SPG dito. Kasi So, I have that interpretation. For you guys ba, Netflix and chill is kind of rated SPG din ba? Oh, really? So, ako lang ang may ibang interpretation na literal. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, anyway, yon Netflix and I relax.
And relax, yeah.
So, ayun.
Ako naman, Sir JP, I don't usually go delve into details about the problems. If that happened, that happened. And then after that, maybe I'll propose or do something about it. If it's something that I can no longer control, hayaan ko na. I just laugh about it and then move on. Diba? Parang ganun lang. Madali lang siya sabihin, pero mahirap gawin. Kasi, problema siya, diba?
Yeah.
So, parang ganun lang.
Eventually, makaka-move on ka din naman.
Yes.
Okay. It's just that how you will navigate the process na to, hindi naman sa gusto mo lang, ayaw mong i-face yung problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yun yung key.
But you want to help yourself to get over it. Kasi problems naman, I think, are part of life.
Yeah.
Not to invalidate naman yung
Nararamdaman.
Oo. Yung mga ibang may problema na going through the process, tas ito yung ganitong coping mechanism nila. But of course, me personally, ganon. Okay? So, it helps din na my friends, lalo na I'm surrounded by psych friends. Okay. So, ayun, magtatanong muna ako. Ano yung advice mo as a friend? Ano advice mo
As an expert.
as an expert? Kung ikaw yung psychologist, ikaw yung, say for example, yung HR director of ganito.
Yeah.
Okay, so merong 2 sets of advice. Yung isa, syempre, merong involved dahil friend. Okay.
Mas real talk yun.
Mas real talk yun.
Mas real
Okay,
talk
minsan
yun.
mas may sampal yun.
Kaya pala dapat kapag kausap ni Ma'am Chings yung mga friends niya, dapat may definition na paano ba kita re-replyan as a friend, as a
Yeah.
professional.
Actually, automatic na yun with the psych friends. Meron na silang 2 sets of advice.
Na-establish na kasi yung level ng relationship.
Exactly.
Ayun, kaya very important yung support system talaga to self-care of to take care of yourself, for self-care nga for your mental health, para hindi nga tayo mag-lead sa burnout kasi we don't want to be in a state wherein we're burnt out. Pag sinabi na nating burnt out, wala ka ng motivation to pursue what you're doing, even if you're well rested physically, you're
Yeah,
not.
it's dragging already, ganon.
And it's really a bad signal for someone doing volunteer work kasi as we all know, volunteer work never stops.
Yes.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that hindi tayo titigil din kasi on our end nga dahil may mga resources tayo, we have to replenish. We don't stop but we take a break. Para after we take a break, we pick up from where we left off. Kaya babalikan na naman natin na habang naka-break siguro tayo, importante yung mga other circles natin who will continue doing what we have to do sa volunteer work.
Yeah, ayun. Ano ba? Traveling also
Yeah,
Yes, good.
helps.
Kung may resources and that's time and finances din.
Kahit ano lang, a simple walk sa nature, pagbubundok actually, ayan.
Yeah.
'Di ba?
Tsaka coffee break.
Naalala niyo nung pandemic kasi talagang
Bawal.
doon na-appreciate ng mga tao yung nature. 'Di ba? Hindi sila makapasyal sa mga malls. Okay, so what they could do, okay? Appreciate natin yung nature. Okay, magplantito-plantita tayo. Mga ganon, 'di
Tsaka
ba?
during that time, yan din po yung season na bentang-benta ang ating mga hardware, construction supplies, because nakikita ng mga nasa bahay na kailangan ko palang ipagawa to. Kasi nandun sila sa bahay. So they managed to see everything that they need to finish or to what do you call this? To
fix.
yes.
Connect ko din, Ma'am Shinky, halimbawa yung nature as a form of self-care. Dito rin papasok yung usapan kasi about mental health na systemic issue din siya. When we say systemic issue
involve
siya.
the environment.
Oo, involving talaga siya. The environment, the community, of course, our policies. Yes, merong personal level mental health, pero meron ding systemic level discourse about mental health. Halimbawa, kung nakakatulong yung paglalakad sa pag-clear ng mind mo when you're stressed and all. Ang unang question kasi ay, meron ka bang spaces where you can walk?
Yeah.
Di ba? So, dito papasok yung role ng mga parks natin, ng mga sidewalks natin. Kasi even if you wanna walk, kung wala ka namang lalakaran,
wala
or kung
din.
maglalakad ka at maa-aksidente ka, di ba?
Very risky. Ay, gusto kong mag-mental health break muna. Lalakad muna ako somewhere. Tapos na-hold up ka.
Oo, di ba? Na-hold up ka. Di ba?
Unsafe pala yung pupuntahan mo.
Yes. Kaya yung mental health talaga, it's a multi-sectoral issue din. So, yung role ng green spaces natin, there are studies in psychology na tinatawag na malaki yung tulong ng mga green and blue spaces for a good mental health. When we say green spaces, ito yung mga spaces na may mga puno, mga halaman, forest, and all. Blue spaces are something
Falls.
with falls, oceans, body of waters, and all. And they see talaga that people who live in these areas or near these areas, better yung mental health state nila as compared to people na nasa urban or puro buildings din yung sa building sila nakatira. So, yun din. And yun nga, hindi naman tayo pwedeng on our own lang. Magtatanim tayo ng forest natin or gagawa tayo ng dagat natin, di ba? Kaya, we also pushed for policies sana na may mga public spaces tayo for
Yes, you actually. Di ba meron tayong lake?
Yes,
Ayan.
dito sa University
That's
of
University.
Lagoon.
Oh, yung Lagoon actually. Yeah.
Actually, yung mga natin dyan, mga staff sa extension, di ba? Sa extension officer, JP, kung di mo may tatanong, alos, every week, they keep on walking. Umiikot lang sila sa lagoon para lang mag-distress kahit
Diba?
paano.
Malaking tulong yun kahit paano.
Para
diba?
ready na naman sila ulit sa panibagong bukas.
Mga nagjo-jogging din actually sa area
Yes.
after work. Oo. Dahil nga Lucinda, medyo malawak ang ano niya.
So hopefully we have those spaces talaga na accessible din para yun nga makatulong siya overall sa pag-maintain ng good mental health state natin.
Perfect.
Okay, it's time to shift gears. Tama po ba, Ma'am Shing?
Yes.
Let's do some fast talk. Sir JP, very familiar naman po tayo, no? So, hindi ko na po itatanong kung...
Siyempre, ano lang to, sagot lang. Sagot lang with the first
Nakakaba.
thing that comes to mind.
Sige,
Just
sige
tell us
po.
when you're ready, Sir JP. Yes?
Ready ka na po?
Ready.
Okay,
Go, go.
our first item is wellness is...
Wellness is kabutihan at kaganahan.
All right. Now, next is volunteerism is...
Malasakit sa kapwa.
Self-care is...
Pag-aalaga sa sarili.
Comfort food.
Ice cream.
Go to distressed activity.
Nap.
Nap. Talagang nap, no? Masarap talaga matulog.
Masarap
Kasi
matulog.
Ma'am, hindi siya...
Yan
May
ang
issue
kulang.
sa pagtulog si Ma'am Chicks.
Okay. So this one, morning or night person?
Morning.
Song that lifts your mood.
Stronger ngayon by Nikki.
Okay. Mental health in one word.
Kaginhawa.
Of course, volunteerism in one word.
Volunteerism ay malasakit.
Okay. Ito naman, last but not the least, hugot line about service.
Hugot like, sana all my resources. Sana all my budget.
Sa true!
Sana all my time.
Yes,
diba?
kasi everything involves money, expenses,
Yeah.
diba? Ma'am Chicks, I think we have questions coming from our audience.
Yan. Ito galing siya kay VJ. Okay. So, I think medyo napahagingan na natin to a while ago. We touched this topic already, but this needs spotlight. Okay. So, according to VJ, how do we reduce the stigma around talking about mental health?
So, highlight ulit natin yung stigma ang nararanasan ng mga tao with mental disorders or serious mental health concerns. So, when we say stigma, again, this is the negative belief of people when you talk of mental health. Yung mas serious na impact ng stigma kasi leads to social disapproval.
Yeah.
So, halimbawa, may mental disorder ako, nalilimit yung mga kaya kong gawin, naging disadvantage ako and all. Kaya, very important siyang pag-usapan. And one of the key things that we can do to reduce stigma is to really provide avenues to talk about mental health. Kasi what we don't understand, we fear.
Yeah.
And yung idea talaga of understanding something is through open spaces for conversations like this. So kapag kasi nakakausap ko yung isang tao with a mental disorder, mas naiintindihan natin yung karanasan nila. Halimbawa, may stigma na ang isang taong may mental disorder, aggressive sila. Well, maybe in some concerns that's true, pero hindi lahat ng may mental disorder aggressive. Diba?
Yes.
So yung ganong mga spaces, iintindihan lang natin kung yung mga taong nakakaranas talaga nun, napapakinggan natin. And may it be formal avenues, may it just be through your personal circles. Kailangan natin silang bigyan ng chance na mapakinggan.
To be heard.
Hindi naman necessary that you provide advice or solutions to what they're experiencing. Pero yung pagbibigay sa kanila ng spaces to be heard, very important na siya and all. Ayun, tapos I think, eto, lagi nating nakikita social media and all, sa mass media natin, yung correct na portrayal ng mental health is really, really important as well. Yung mga
I
nakikita
agree.
natin sa movies, diba? Sa mga teleserye yung pinapanood
Yes, and
natin.
sometimes, di ba, experts call out to those movies if not, hindi tama yung pag-portrayals ng mga ginagawa nila.
Tama. So, yung keyword natin doon is grassroots talaga. Babalik ka, of course. Halimbawa, if you would like to portray someone through a media with a mental disorder, sabihin natin depression and all, best way talaga is to talk to someone with a depression, a clinical diagnosis of depression, and ask them kung paano ba nilang gustong ipakita yung karanasan nila. Ayun, so spaces talaga to talk about it is very important to reduce yung stigma natin on mental health.
Thank you so much, Sir JP. Meron pa bang isa, ma'am?
Meron pa, we have one more, and I think this would be the last. This is from NJ. Alright, what's a myth or misconception you would like to debunk? So probably this is about mental health. Yeah, yeah.
Mental health. That mental health is just kaartehan.
Yeah.
That's the common myth na kapag sinabi kong may mental health struggle
Arte-arte
ako.
mo.
Oo, parang ayun nga, ano lang ako, gusto ko lang magpapansin, di ba? Or gusto ko lang, ma-shine yung spotlight sa akin and all. Yung isa sa mga struggles up until now in advocating for mental health talaga is to not invalidate yung mga mental health concerns natin. Kasi we also acknowledge na may mga gumagamit ng mental health card. And that's a negative thing, unfortunately. When we say a mental health card, ginagamit ang mental health condition to not be accountable with things. Halimbawa sa school, dahil mayroong deadline at hindi makakapag-submit on deadline. Siyempre, we don't want to undermine naman, pero kailangan nating i-validate that students really tell something na, pag sinabi nilang, hindi po ako makakasubmit on time because I have anxiety during the time that I'm beating the deadline. Sana totoo. Kasi nga, sometimes, talagang ginagamit lang siya to run away from things and all. So, we don't want that to happen. So, it's also happening. Kaya nga, yun talagang role ng mga experts din in validating mental health conditions. Very important siya to ensure na hindi siya gagamitin as a mental health card lang. So, to everybody listening talaga, important na ayaw nating, kung familiar kayo dun sa fairy tale na The Boy Who Cried Wolf, ayaw natin na maging ganun yung mental health condition that when someone calls for help kasi meron siyang serious mental health concern, people will just tell na, hindi. Hindi. Mental health card lang yan. Well, in fact, very serious na siya. Kaya, yun nga, we have to be very genuine about reaching out for help na kailangan talaga natin siya. And we're not just using mental health to not be accountable.
Yes, say, for example, sinabi niya, may anxiety ako. So, it pays then to pay a visit sa psychologist, someone, an expert, no? Have yourself diagnosed and ask for help then. How we could help address kung ano yung man yung yung kailangan niya. Okay. So those are the questions na ang dami nating napag-usapan. Actually, kulang na kulang pa actually ang oras to talk about mental health. And Sir Japes, no, you have shared very profound, a very comprehensive explanation of all the questions and topics na Pero, syempre, kulang ang time. Pero ganun talaga. We're nearing the end of our episode, segment, podcast already.
Pwedeng next episodes na lang in the future.
May part 2, no?
May part 2, of course. Pwede.
Maybe you want to give final message to our listeners, especially to our volunteers po, youth advocates, and your students, sir. Feel free to send a message po.
Yeah, syempre sa mga ka-volunteers natin, if mental health is a topic that is close to your heart, it's resounding to you and all, syempre one of the first steps to actually be involved with advocacy is to show up. So, yung mga organizations where I work with, they're all over the internet. So, punta lang kayo sa mga social media platforms ninyo. Check on #mentalhealthph. Ito yung social media advocacy group natin na talagang nagpo-push forward for.
That's on Facebook.
Yep.
You have Instagram din,
Meron
TikTok.
din. Or TikTok, hindi lahat. Pero usually, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So,
that's,
hashtag Mental Health PH.
Okay, #mentalhealthph. Okay, go visit that Facebook page. Tapos, what else?
The second one is, of course, Youth for Mental Health Coalition. What we're doing right now is, of course, get volunteers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to actually talk about their experiences sa kanilang mga provinces. And hopefully, these inputs can be used for the improvement of the policy ng Philippine Mental Health Law. So, that's the other one. Tapos, syempre sa mga kagaya ko na working professionals, if you are a registered psychologist or psychometrician, please feel free to visit the Psychological Association of the Philippines. Meron tayong community service arm ngayon wherein, we put mental health sa community level. We have efforts for community-based mental health.
Yan. So, sa lahat ng gustong mag-volunteer, no? So, mag-reach out lang kayo. Ayan, you could offer a little bit of your time, di ba? So, syempre, invite din natin ang ating mga viewers, listeners to like our Facebook page. Syempre, unahin natin si TSUOUES VMD page yan, Volunteerism Management Department. Ayan.
Yes, and follow, of course, the
like and
official
follow.
Facebook page of Firefox 87.5.
And itong ating ng office natin.
Yes, the TSU Office of University Extension Services. Just follow it on our official Facebook page. And
Ayan. Ito yung logo ni VMD. Trying to point. Ayan.
Yes.
Ayan, si VMD. Yan po yung logo ng Facebook page. So makikita nyo, V for volunteer.
yes. And before anything else, bago po namin makalimutan ng lahat, nagpapasalamat po kami sa TSU Firefox,
Yeah,
to the
thank
College of Arts and
you.
Social Sciences, to our Vice President, Dr. Erwin Lacanlale, and to our Director.
Sir Emir, mga staff po, mga unit heads po namin. Of course, I'm the unit head for volunteerism management under OUES, ma'am.
and the Department Head for Publication and Communication Department of the same office.
Ayan, so Sir Aljon, Ma'am Leia, Sir Emir, at saka yung mga staff. Siyempre, shoutout din sa ang mga nag-assist sa atin na masisipag dito.
Yes.
Diba? O, say hi kayo dyan.
And of course, our US Peace Corps volunteers.
Yes, mga PCV, we have Nico in the house, y'all! And Vince, Alright, si Sir Rudolph, hello! Over there, can you hear us? Nandyan din ba, Sir Jerome? Ayan. Si, hello. And Sir Dane, who's actually there preparing for ASCO, our Dean, nasa baba.
Yes
Nakausap
po.
natin
And of
din,
course,
Sir Albert.
Sandy, baka limutan natin.
Ay, Sandy! Hello! Kamusta? How are you doing in life? Ayan, si Sandy gustong mag-volunteer for Project Ay Talakading Lahi. Ayan. So, yeah.
I guess that's it. So, Sir JP, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining
Yeah,
us
thank
today.
you so much. Ayan, thanks, Frini.
And today, we are reminded that volunteerism, it's not just about perfection. It's about the presence of our volunteers, our compassion, and of course, our care, both for the others and for ourselves.
Yan. To everyone who's tuned in right now, thank you so much. And remember, wellness begins with a willing heart. So, take a moment to breathe, reflect, and reconnect.
Alright, so once again, follow us on our official Facebook page, TSU Office of University Extension Services, and TSU OUES.
VMD, Volunteerism Management Department.
And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the Firefox Radio 87.5 for more cuentos from the ground. Let's keep the spirit of service alive and sustainable. This has been Voluntune, Episode 5, Health and Wellness through Volunteerism.
Sa Voluntune, bawat kwento ay inspirasyon at bawat serbisyo ay pagmamahal.